Gets it from 5 to 6. From 5 to 6.
Well, let's get started.
Well, let's start. Yeah, it's 5:00. Gosh,
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Board ready.
I'm ready.
Ready?
Get this. Okay. Okay, call to order. Hermosa Town Board special meeting on Tuesday, November 25th, 2025 at 5 p.m. It's now 5:01. Roll call. Kramer is absent. Said she'll be here later if we're still in meeting. Ferguson,
Here.
Coontz here, Service.
Here.
I'd like to thank everyone else for coming. Please stand for the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So we have a three items on the agenda. I don't know that there's anything else we need to add on there.
Let's make it sweet and simple.
Okay, I'll just make the motion to accept the agenda as presented.
Second that.
Donna seconds. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Conflict of interest declaration. I don't know that there's going to be any on these, but if there is one, please let us know. And then on to the main topic, which is the public works employee. So I think there's a few different questions that we need to answer with this, right? So I think we're still trying to figure out what we're going to do with Chuck's contract for next year. Is that true?
I don't know.
We haven't had time on it yet, but it's, I think there's some wording in there that has been there for 2 years that maybe needs to be addressed. And I'm thinking probably, discuss some of that stuff with Anthony. One of the things that he expressed was that when we talked about the Banish contract, which is no longer in effect, but, that certain things that Banish would not do, or couldn't do, or wouldn't do. And those were kind of pointed out as reasoning for having this separate contract with the town because of the areas that they did not cover, which could be mowing the grass, snow removal, and probably meter readings and emergency calls and certain things like that. And plowing snow, that stuff that they did not do, which he thought of as pertinent that they still maintained the contract with the town so that it covered those things. And I know that some people think that they're double dipping there, however, the fees that it appears that I see that he is collecting on is ongoing construction jobs, the water system and the well, and that kind of stuff. And he said he would be on hand to do inspections. Been a little tough to do when they live out of town. I'd be doing all the inspections, except sort of stuff that I physically do, and it states in the contract that a board member can look at the stuff. And the way we've been kind of covering that is if the person can't look at it, we take pictures and document measurements of stuff that goes on the inspection report. So that's kind of how that gets covered at this time. Some of the verbiage in that contract is 2 years old. A little shaky. It can be interpreted a couple of different ways, and I think that needs to be cleared up. And it also states in there that on the renewal of this contract, there is room for negotiations of pay increase. I don't know exactly what that entails, but
Well, I think that pretty much doesn't need to state that in the contract for that to be a consideration at
depends on
any
how
time,
long-
right?
How long the period that we renew the contract for. It was for 2 years last time. Which takes quite a little pressure off of both sides. That, they know that going to have to renegotiate it within 11 months again, you know,
Sure, yeah.
so. Good Lord willing, I'll probably be here for a while.
Yep. Okay, Aaron, did you have a question or comment?
So we're kind of looking at, mentioning Benish, what Benish wouldn't do, what Benish was doing. I can point right out why, part of the reason why there's things that Benish said no to is they're an engineering firm,
Yeah, well, that's what.
not an operational firm. And there are deeper reasons for that, regardless of who our engineer is, there are deeper reasons not to have your engineering firm doing other things. And I see absolutely no reason to have our engineering firm have any involvement at all in lawn care, snow
Yeah.
removal, or any of that. I think the elephant in the room, the writing in the wall, Chuck, you don't have a helper right now. There are things you can't,
There's things, yes,
that you can't do on your own.
at this point, you know, I mean, it didn't make a lot of sense for me to bust my tail and let an employee watch me work. I mean, the idea was to pay them, and I was in the supervising position,
Right.
you know, I kind of took things for granted a little bit, you know. The situation with Chuck was, he was pretty handy to have around, but came with a lot of baggage.
Well, yeah, I know there had been at least some discussion about the possibility of, at some point in time, of the town basically paying him directly to some extent. And the situation I see moving forward that would make things better for pretty much everybody involved is that the town looks for somebody, the town hires somebody, and you essentially would still be supervising them, but they would be reporting to the town for payroll. They would be accountable
They'd
to
be
the board. They would
underneath
be
The town would be,
they would be underneath the board, and the things that they need a supervisor for out in the field, Chuck would be their supervisor. That just seems like the thing.
Well, it makes sense, yes. The only thing that would come into play would be an emergency or something of that nature, and if I'm not here,
Right.
you know, and you know, he was with me for 4 years and still asked them questions every day.
Yeah.
And I said, well, we've done that before, you know, you didn't click with. So Anthony's son is 16.
just about.
I said, there's no way that I'm going to put that kid in the ditch or do anything of that nature.
Well, there's no way we
Some of
can
the
have
Some of
that.
the things that
Yeah, but he was kind of working under Chuck as Chuck was training him.
he's trying to get him to get some experience on a lot of different things, you know,
Yeah.
how meters work and why they don't work and those kind of things. He's still in high school. He'd have the weekends and, you know, maybe after school, but, you know, working inside of Cal 5 o'clock this time of year. I still have Gordon, on hand for mowing and trimming and that kind of stuff in the summertime. I'm looking at the fact that, and of course, John is kind of half-assed on board, you know, he's never really jumped in on inspections and things that would, I'm just thinking about if I'm gone, somebody's got to cover it.
Well,
It's not like I'm going to go to Russia or someplace, I mean, there's still phone contact.
What about Mexico?
Well, they got phones there. Something new, but they do it.
You probably won't get back across the border.
Make sure you bring a waterproof phone for the beach, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there's just, you know, not tooting my own horn, but the town has had the best of both situations for many, many, many years. Number one, the experience and the know-how and the equipment and the stuff. I mean, all they really had to worry about was writing a check at the end of the month. $2 million worth of insurance and liability wise, and a contract that kind of held both of our feet to the fire along the way. And sometimes there was a gray area whether, you know, I'm supposed to do this or not supposed to do that, pointed out in the contract where it says I'm supposed to do that. It's very clear in the contract, anything above and beyond which is stated in that contract is done by the hour or whatever. And, you know, if you brought somebody brand new on board, other than the physical labor, they simply don't have the equipment. I mean, to do what needs to be done.
So, so then are you saying, so the main topic of discussion right now is the public works employee, essentially your helper, right? And so we're trying to figure out if there's something we need to do on the town side to get that helper for you, or if you would rather that helper still be under your umbrella. And then because that helper would be using your equipment and stuff like that. So would it be more handy for you to have them under your umbrella?
Find out what someone that's not 18, 20 years old, you know. Number one, whether they have any experience in running any of the equipment is one thing. Snow removal, I mean, if you can drive a pickup that's got an automatic transmission, you're gonna have to bring it all. You know, you could do snow removal.
Well, hold on, I just want to get back. So we're talking about the possibility of a helper being a 16-year-old?
No.
This would be,
That, it's, we're not gonna hire a 16-year-old.
Right, because that,
For the
the
town.
town could not, for the liability reasons, let
No, Dad, he's gonna help Chuck do some stuff.
not town business.
No,
Like, yeah.
yeah,
well,
no.
it could work in the meter reading or something like
No,
that.
the town
Be
could never,
supervised, I mean,
the town could never do that for the liability reasons. We could never do that.
Why
Even-
not? The legal age to work here is 14, isn't it?
Yeah,
On going on people, a minor going on people's property and things like that. That's just, that's wide open door. We don't.
90% of the meters are on public property.
I get there may be a desire for that, but that I would never.
So
be-
maybe it's only for specific tasks then,
I would
if
say
at all.
generally things not related to the town. I don't see us.
Okay, well, that's it. That's a good point to keep in mind, but at this point, we don't have anyone directly in consideration. There's just been talk that
Right.
it could be. But I think the thing that we need to find out from Chuck is, would he rather the employee work, and they're gonna work under your umbrella either way, but would you rather they get paid under your umbrella or they get paid under the town's umbrella?
Well, that was one of the things that, discussed that, one of the people that he was looking at was at $25 an hour. It certainly doesn't allow for that in the contract. So if I'm in direct, there was lots of times that in a week's time, Chuck made more money than I did. I
Sure.
mean, I forfeited my town check, my social security check, and private funds to maintain his 40 hours in a week, you know, I mean. And when you look at that, it's $600, it's $650 something a week, and, you know, I 1099 him because there was no way. So have it.
Yeah.
He had a vehicle, and fuel, and use of the shop, and, you know,
So am I hearing you right that you would prefer that the town pays them? So then you won't be on the hook for that expense?
Well, there would have to be sure enough leeway in my contract to be able to pay somebody. If they're doing labor for me, then that's a different story, but if they're doing work for the town, under
Well,
supervision, of course,
And the thing is, it'll be his equipment that they're operating on.
All right, so kind of how I was hoping we could look at this. The
Yeah.
first thing we need to consider is whether or not we would have enough work for a full-time formal town. So what I think what I would like to do is go through all the tasks that fall under our public works. Look at what Chuck does, look at what we would think about having an employee do, what would be necessary. So we can be like, all right, this is everything that falls under public works, and these are the things we would be, that this person could do without, and just go through it.
It looks to me like unless you've got somebody that's of age, you're setting up quite a liability risk. Not to mention the workman's comp and insurance and, and you're into at least minimum wage and vacation time and sick leave and all that stuff that just, I don't want to get into that. Just too much baggage.
I think in the long run, it is a lot easier for the town to do all that stuff, the workman's comp, the insurance, all that other stuff. We need to do directly than have it pass through you. And I think it works better for you too in the long run. That you basically get a.
The situation that you have, if you need water turned off in an emergency or. Like I said, in 52 years, I've trained a lot of guys over the years. And some really, really, really dumb ones, and some that thought they knew way more than they did, and some thieves, and, quite an assortment along the way.
And all that crap would be the town's problem to deal with, not yours. Oh, because that's another thing, town employees all have to have background checks, whether you're not, so. Like that covers us in a lot of ways, and then you would know that you're getting somebody who's just gonna go to work and do what you tell them to do.
Well, that's it, you're not going to. And even though they're of age and sound mind and body doesn't give you know anything about what they're going to be doing. So you're into a training period or supervision, one or the other.
Sure. Well,
You would hope when they do something that they would do, perform that task again without having.
right. So, I mean, the way I kind of envision it is if the town is paying the guy's wage, he's still working under your umbrella, and I guess you would be working under Anthony's umbrella. So between the two of you guys would help flesh out and determine what this said guy is going to be doing, right? But like, so for right now though, there's not a whole lot going on and stuff like that. So do you see this as more a seasonal town employee? Or is there something that we can do in the off months, like right now, that could keep them busy through the winter until, snow removal comes?
This time of year, there just really isn't much, I mean, the very most part of it would be is monitoring the pump house and maybe turning water on off on request from the female self and things like that,
Right.
All right, so some things we know we need, like, another thing is we're also looking at meter reader, and it seems kind of absurd to have a separate meter reader when we may have
There's a
somebody.
couple that we looked at, they could kind of, Terry and I kind of agreed that they could go into doing other things.
Mowing weeds.
You pretty close have to have two separate sets of books, I mean, to be able to, how much time that they're doing for the town, how much time they're doing for me, and it would be complicated at best.
So meter reading, mowing, lawn care, right? That's another thing. Called weed destruction.
speed destruction.
Yeah,
That sounds good.
No.
but there's also, there's beyond what you're already doing, I mean, we got volunteers doing our road work. I'm sure if we had a full-time guy, we'd start finding a lot more for him
Yeah,
to do.
put street maintenance on there. That'd be a good one. And then, that could include like, sweeping up the millings out of the grass and stuff like that. There's still millings down there and by Ferguson, so from back when.
We'll just put snow removal. Cause I'm thinking like, shoveling out by the pump house, shoveling out here, shoveling out.
That, yeah,
Just
that's
that-
not quite as important as the parking lot here and the sidewalks getting to the school
Call it snow removal light. And then
and labor.
that's also under streets. What else we got? We got, flag duty. Terry, still have never found somebody to take over flag duty.
Much if they could have it.
I mean, there's, building maintenance, there are things we could probably,
Well, yeah.
we could, with time, put this poor soul to work.
The problem you got is you gotta have somebody that's savvy to all this kind of stuff. You know, I mean, it's one thing to be on the job training, but if you gotta hold their hand, then that's just about doing it myself.
Really no qualifications for water meter reading. And they
Well,
need a
then they can
vehicle.
read.
You gotta be
Yeah.
Be able to read.
you gotta be able to speak English and know
Literate,
mathematical
sounds good.
numbers.
Yeah, at least speak, Arabic so you can know their numbers.
Yeah.
Vehicle.
And a lot of that stuff.
That's it. Everything else is
Digital or the,
Yeah,
satellite,
yeah.
and that's gonna take a tremendous amount of problems off, but it's gonna put more onto the town office too.
We have a mower, trimmer, things like that, weed torch.
I have a question. Do
Yes,
we use
ma'am.
chemicals for our weed, control?
I think we have in the past. I know at one point Anthony was investigating on a good chemical we could use that down at the lagoon for at least,
Oh,
some weed control, to just kill them off. Then we either burn the stalks or just tear them out or whatever. But we gotta be cognizant of chemicals that could affect the biology in there, of course, so we can't just be spraying whatever.
Almost everything that we've used is non-applicable and water's edge, The problem you have with the chemical spraying is you can't spray if the wind is more than 10 miles an hour. And, rain, that kind of stuff. A lot of that stuff we used, within 2 hours is waterproof, rainproof. But it's also over $100 a gallon, so you don't waste it, You gotta know that you're getting the best use out of it, because if you, spray and then have to go down and get a cloudburst, you wasted it.
Right. So, what about building maintenance, town property building maintenance?
There could be some sweeping and cleaning and,
painting and all all sorts of little fixes and that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
organize, the bugs that are going to have their way right now, they just use the shop back on them, and I probably took 2 coffee cans full
So I'm gonna put mechanical.
and boxers out of the lower house.
We want to have somebody that have some rudimentary ability to turn a screwdriver.
I have a question. Do we leave the dumpster down over there all year, or do we have them pick it up during the winter?
Well, I think if
Yard waste one?
it's full, we'll get them picked up, but
Like, is the dumpster over there all year though?
I believe so.
Is it?
I've never had them.
Because I know Rapids pick, they're picking theirs up at the end of the month.
The only time I ever call them is just to empty it.
I, you know,
That's part of our
The
contract.
thing that comes in playing with the yard waste is, you know, this time of year, we could probably back off and only have one.
Yeah,
But with Christmas coming, they're gonna put trees in there.
Yep.
That kind of stuff, so.
if they have
I'd
to,
say by-
maybe take it down to.
Well, it only costs us when they pick them up and dump them.
Yeah,
But there's a separate charge on our contract for them to come and dump them, and that's the only time we pay for these
Hmm.
things.
I was just curious, you know, how that did, how that was charged off.
so for the light snow removal, is that,
Like shoveling,
Just hand shovel.
yeah, and then heavy is like need a plow truck.
Salting.
where you get into trouble on that is, you know, if we get full of snow and 30-mile-an-hour winds, you have to do it 2 or 3 times.
yeah,
And I'm not gonna come here at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning and 10 below and shovel.
Don't blame me, I wouldn't need it.
We don't really salt the roads, more sidewalks.
yeah. Yeah, walkways, you know.
That would kind of be strictly to the town office steps. Because the rest of it gets cleaned with the bobcat. And it'll be interesting to see what happens at the Great Wall this year, not all that dirt's gone out of there. Looks to me like it's a beautiful snow trap.
It's a lot. That's so
Oh,
many
drift
words.
even worse there now, you mean? At the Great Wall?
In the years,
For sure.
we entertained the idea of putting up some snow fence. Then there, once any drifts are
These get it for sale.
6 feet tall, and you got a drainage problem, so there's no over there on top of the sidewalk. And
Should we put, snow fence installation and removal? That's something that we should look into doing, cause, I mean, that goes right out onto the street.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
terrible.
The sidewalk is bad enough, but right out onto the street, if we get a nice 45-degree drift, that's
Well,
gonna
you know,
cover
it's
the whole
to
lane.
back it, I mean, to.
Right.
And the state comes through, you know, when Festus is doing, he can just grin from year to year, gotta have it all plowed out nice and clean, he'd come by at 30-mile-an-hour and plow it right back shut again, you know.
Yeah,
There's another side of this that I'm thinking about. I don't know how much everybody else thinks about, but these Benish contracts were astronomical, really. Were or will be astronomical. That's a really, 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 really good salary with maximum benefits for somebody working for the town. Basically everything Benish started contracting. Water sewer operations. Benish, I see Benish as I saw Benish as a transition in between kind of where we were to building this new system, getting it running, but eventually passing it back over. Sooner rather than later, I think is a good idea. Just food for thought.
yeah, well, once we have something to transition, then that'll be a good time to start looking at it, right?
Yeah.
Yep, so, as far as this one goes, do you have any other comments or questions on Public Works employee? I mean, this is a pretty good start here to be able to put out a job listing. I don't know.
Any of the duties that they could be. So have to do, you know. When it comes to deal with that 10 hours of not doing that, hell, you gonna get, they won't even talk to you, but won't do anything.
Right, well, and that's, yeah, and that's why if we're gonna have the town hire a guy, we gotta have enough for him to do to make it worth his while and our while. But if it's only
You have
gonna,
somebody that's old enough to be retired, they're not gonna wanna work that hard. And you could hire Bill and construction.
yeah. Well, I mean, pretty much all of, everyone that's worked here is kind of fit into a niche, right? I mean, you have for so long, it was kind of your situation was pretty unique to you and unique to the town.
It was, you know. And still is at this point.
Right, yeah.
The other side of things, this vac truck, you know,
Trina?
I know that locates has always cost us quite a bit, and it does require special equipment. But the equipment cost to buy that equipment it varies greatly, but maybe we want to look at having the person do that as well, because that would fill out some of the hours. I don't know, what do
Yeah.
you guys think about it?
It would, but I don't know that that's something that this position would do. I think that's probably a higher tier position.
Need some training.
Yeah,
They'd have to use our new software and.
right, yeah, and we're getting the operations contracts kind of gone over and everything too for ATAC, so I think a lot of that's gonna be in there, and then Chuck's new contract's probably gonna have some of that too.
Yeah,
And so, yeah, definitely work order processing. Yeah, I mean, computer
I
literate.
like that literate.
Yeah.
a little more than basic literate, computer literate.
Yeah,
Um,
so are those last ones optional or no? Truck up?
it's all optional. So my thoughts here would be to go through and figure out where best to allocate these, if anything. What would be best for a town employee to do? What would be best for Chuck to be doing? What would be best for ATAC to do, if anything? And this column needs to be minimized.
Sure.
It's an engineering firm, not a general laborer firm. We don't need to be paying $50 to $150 for an hour for general labor duties.
Right.
Yeah.
well, for general laborer, no, but they have the things that they're gonna be doing for us are,
There's nothing on this
Higher
list
tech.
right now that would apply to ATAC. Not a single.
No.
well, we're gonna need a trainer for the back truck stuff.
But none of them are vac truck operators, right? And it's an engineering firm, not operator.
Well, we can go over that later, but, there's definitely a question that's gonna have to be answered here pretty soon, I think. You know, Trina?
Are you guys thinking of, listing this to just see what the interest is? You know, sometime before the contract is due, or are you gonna wait till next year to put it in the paper?
How can you wait till next year?
Okay,
Yeah, I think we need to have this.
there's a long way to go, I swear.
We got at least 30 days, for when I worked clear into February and March and without a contract at all.
We don't really have to have a whole lot of the duties listed in order to put out an posting for like a public works associate.
Possible jobs that they could do. Stuff we got listed there. And it's a good idea to research that a little bit on, you know, what.
I mean, if they do have back truck experience, operations.
If we
and
found
they-
some, yeah,
And they have a CDL, I would say that could bump up the scale quite a bit. And then if they also wanted to do the rest of this stuff too,
yeah.
you know. I mean,
Yeah.
that's an interesting mix for a guy to do though, you know, because if they were
Well,
a
the
public works guy for a long time. You know, do they really want to come here and then push the mower, you know, so many hours a week during the summer and all that? So it'll be an interesting balance to find the right person, I think.
I would want somebody with a CDL and not much more than that, and then I don't know. I don't want somebody with their bad habits that come in from somewhere else. To be honest, I don't want somebody bringing their bad habits here. I'd rather get somebody really, really confident and qualified and train them.
Sometimes you're reaching for the moon. And
Well, that's the only way you
it's
have to
just-
start.
It's just barely over the hill and you're reaching up there.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I mean, this is a good start here for us to kind of have an idea of the things they can do around here under the town's umbrella or under the town's, pay schedule and then under Chuck's direction. Um,
Well, then, of course, the other thing gonna come into play, if you get all these things lined up, then the first thing you're gonna do is take so many $100 a month out of my contract, and instead of raising the contract, you're lowering it. That's not the direction you wanna go.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole nother conversation that we need to have too. You know, that will have to come up here pretty soon. So, that's definitely on the radar for sure. So,
Well, and the thing is too, the equipment. Cost, using the equipment,
yep, it's,
because the town has them.
yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
a
all,
problem we need to resolve.
it's all gonna be,
Unless you want to buy us out.
have to be taken into account.
You're ignoring me when I said that.
I'm not ignoring you. I'm just,
Not poking that bear.
yeah, it's not on the agenda. Let's put it that way. So,
Okay.
I don't know. Are you guys satisfied with this agenda item for now?
Yeah, yeah,
Haven't been long on this one, but I think it took a little bit of time to flesh out.
yeah.
So
And anything else, anything pops up, I'll leave this on this computer if you have any thoughts. And we'll just add stuff to the list.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, very good. So let's move on to the next item. Item B, use of BBB money to fund hanging of light pole Christmas decorations. And so Terry printed out the Chapter 31 Municipal Gross Receipts Tax section, which covers the BBB in Section 31.11. Lists it as a municipal gross receipts tax of 1% on the gross receipts from the sale of leases or rentals of hotel, motel, campsites, or other lodging accommodations within the municipality for periods of less than 28 consecutive days. The sale of alcohol beverages as defined. And ticket sales or admissions to places of amusement, athletic, and cultural events. So, pretty much the BBB definition right there, and then down in 31.14, it lists the permitted uses of revenue per the ordinances. And down there on the fourth line, it says, and the promotion and advertising of the municipality. So if we believe that the Christmas lights on the light poles were part of the promotion and or advertising of the municipality, then I think it would be a permissible use. So what do you all think?
Yeah. For the lights, I think that's about as within the reasons we could possibly get, you know?
Yep. Okay. So do we even need to have a discussion, or should we just have a vote and be done with it? Okay. So would either of you like to make the motion? I can make the motion. Oh,
So are we going to make a solid figure that it can't go over that, or are we just gonna like have it be open and, you know, if we think it's gonna take 5 hours and then it ends up taking 15.
Chuck, I saw your,
Get somebody to, willing to hang them, I'm donating loader time to put them up and that kind of stuff, that's not a big deal.
There may be a basket lift in
Yeah.
town here
Yeah.
next couple of weeks that may be
But
volunteered.
we're gonna wanna get them up,
Yeah,
you know, cause I mean, Christmas, it's 13th.
Well,
it's like $1,500 budget and just that should cover anything we should possibly be looking at. If we don't spend that
Yeah,
much, so be
I
it.
think up to,
Up to,
yeah, so
Cause it's only,
I don't know what we would need to spend the money on. Maybe the bracketry. I remember hearing
yeah,
during our previous discussions. So
because
we'd
it's
have to get that, I
only
guess.
and there's,
2 weeks away.
I guess maybe
Yeah.
some of the,
Christmas thing.
the fuzzy stuff, what do they call that?
Tinsel.
Tinsel, whatever is on there is maybe damaged. Somebody was saying maybe that
Okay.
some of that might need to be replaced. And the brackets, and if we, worst case scenario, need to rent a lift of some kind.
Right, okay. Yeah, so I guess up to 1,500
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
would probably be good, you know,
It's a lot of money.
makes the motion.
We might only spend 100, but
Yeah,
that way we don't have to come back and,
so
But we need to have a time limit too, because it's only 2 weeks away from this coming week.
If you put them up, but you also gotta take them down too, you know, and that's what's a double.
yeah, we can wait till May to take them down.
Well, yeah, we're gonna till May to take them down. It'll be cold.
Okay. So your motion is to provide a budget of up to $1,500 from the BBB fund to hang the Christmas decorations from the light poles.
Sounds good.
Okay, guess I'll second that.
Is it the same lights that were up last year?
Yeah.
No, we have.
No, we got new ones from, the ones we got from the city of Rapid.
Did we ever get a handle on what we have and what we?
27 of them. I don't know if they all work. They're all
These two
over
are
the
supposed
shop.
to check them out.
I'll take Nicholas over in the morning and we'll test him. Put him to work.
You're
All right.
taking,
Nicholas.
oh, yeah, what a good idea.
Yeah, that's
Give him a,
No, he's off.
Is that wrong?
yeah, but not cold, I could help, but I
Okay.
was when it was getting cold.
Any further discussion on this one? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor? Aye, motion carries. Okay, on to item C, approve order of parts for the repair of the Vector truck and pony motor clutch.
Yeah, so I figured, we know exactly what we need. Whether or not we repair it right now isn't something we have to decide, but I don't see any reason not to order the parts and get them on hand. So I got the, that's actually, oh yeah, I got more on the Vector truck I gotta put together, but, this is the bill of material I got from Tata Transmission. Giving me all the parts to call out, and this is the breakdown, so it's a standard C110 clutch. For standard number 3 bell housing. So let me pull up. I forgot. It's one of those things I forgot.
You're gonna need the clutch disc, pressure plate.
No, there's no pressure plate.
There isn't.
No, this is, that's not, yeah. It's, 110 50 clutch. It's, so instead of like you're thinking like a pressure plate and a clutch bolted to, a flywheel pressure plate, that's not how these work. They insert. So
So throw up and works as pressure plate.
no, so there's a sleeve. So the flywheel has an outside ring, and this clutch is toothed, and it slides into that ring. So the flywheel is not a wear part in these. That outside ring on the outside of the clutch assembly slides into the inside of the ring that's bolted to the engine. So all of the wear parts are contained in this assembly except for the pilot bearing. So it's an
And
entire
reconvene.
unit. It's a two-stage clutch, so there are two
Kathy
discs
knows
in
the
there.
part, right, Kathy?
And it all, yeah, it works internally. And then this is the pilot bearing. So all we need is those two parts, and that's everything that could possibly be worn on it.
And how many dollars are we talking there?
700 for the clutch, 80 for the bearing. Standard 72 millimeter bearing.
Okay. How much is shipping? Can't be much more than $100. Get that, I mean, how big is that thing? It was like 14 inches in diameter or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, it's to be about 11 and a half.
Hey, Trina?
Can we get Black Friday sale breaks?
Yeah, right.
Oh,
FedEx ground, $50.
yeah.
But we don't need to have it overnight or.
No, we don't have any
Yeah, let's
really,
do the cheap option.
any need at all for urgency.
So we go, what was that one, like 700? Yeah, 700 plus 50 plus $80 for the pilot bearing. So,
And then, I mean, if we end up needing, maybe that grease line, maybe, but I mean, that
we
would,
just do a $1,000 budget on it
yeah. Part,
for now.
yeah.
I mean, if we can get the parts here for that and then I mean, maybe me, you can just put them in there.
Yeah, so I looked through the book, they're pretty pointed on the procedure, pull the fan. So you unbolt, there's 12 bolts around this bell housing. You unbolt the fan from the truck and swing the whole thing off in one unit.
So we need
The
to,
bell, the transmission, and the blower fan.
somebody with a backhoe that could get out there.
This is more than a backhoe work. I would want a
Overhead crane.
yeah.
Okay. So I'll have to,
Because we got to be precise in those final alignments when we're going back together. We're sliding. We've got all this assembled and we're punching into a pilot bearing or a pilot.
I could run a backhoe to do that, cause I
I wouldn't use a backhoe for this. It's not precise enough. You can't move it with enough precision to not break some stuff.
okay, well, we'll
Yeah.
figure that out later, but, so I'm okay with so I'll just make the motion that we approve $1,000 budget for the clutch parts and the shipping and any other accessories up to the amount of $1,000 for the back truck.
What about labor for putting it on?
We're just doing parts right now.
Just so we have them on hand
All right.
when it comes time to everything else being sorted out, how to actually change it. I'll second, I guess, or did you make it, or?
Yeah.
I made the motion.
All right, second.
Aaron seconds. Do we need any other discussion on this?
No, as long as we just order the parts.
Okay, all those in favor?
All right.
Aye, motion carries. Very good. Thanks for doing all that, Aaron, and all the other stuff you do too, man.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So items from constituents. All the constituents here, do we have any items? None? All righty, trustee input. Any trustee input?
I like fast meetings.
Okay, well, I think we have an
We
executive
covered quite a
session,
bit.
right?
Just.
Oh, yeah, we do have, yeah. But no.
What?
Are we ready for that, Terry? Okay, so, I don't have any trustee input. Do you have any specific trustee input? No? No? Okay, so I guess, I'll make the motion to enter into executive session for personnel reasons.
I'll second.
And we are at, it is now, what is it, 5:50?
So we probably won't have anything to vote on when we come on it, will we?
I don't know, we'll have to see, but, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Sorry, motion carries. So, let's do a quick 5-minute recess and again at 6:11 PM.
Second that motion.
Guess I'll make the motion.
Oh, I thought you made the motion.
11, I'll make it.
So you didn't do anything with this guy from, or this
Hold
gal
on.
guy from?
We're getting out of executive session right now. Donna seconds, 6:11. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. I don't believe we have any motions resulting from executive session. So, I'll make the motion to adjourn at, 6:12.
I'll second that.
Seconds, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.